Welcome back, everyone. This is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. We are continuing on with another Mystery Mystic Monday video. This is part 3 of Cassie Carli's reading. Please be sure to check out parts 1 and 2. And the part 1 has the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle reading that I like to do in the beginning of the reading. And then part 2 goes into the circumstances surrounding her disappearance in terms of what led up to her disappearance. And now we're going to ask if Spirit would be so kind as to shed some light on following what happened, where is she at now, give us, if Spirit would be so inclined as to give us more information, we're going to be here to receive it by way of this reading. So check out parts 1 and 2. Links are in the description box below. Thank you for joining me for part 3. Okay, so we're gonna do part 3, and this is going to be more focused on what may have happened, if we can get some more details about what may have happened, where Cassie may be, maybe what's next. Spirit, whatever you wish to share, we will receive. Okay, so we're just gonna shuffle some cards. It's not gonna, I don't have any set questions. Maybe when I do a follow-up reading, if she still hasn't been found, or more evidence hasn't been revealed that says something has happened, we'll do a follow-up reading and I'll have more specific questions at that time. But for part 3, we're just going to see what Spirit wishes to reveal. Sometimes Spirit protects us, protects me as the reader. And protects you as the person viewing this reading. So I have to respect that. Con man. So we're getting some information about buried, dark hair color con man. Let's see if there's... Okay, I'm going to reshuffle. Or maybe we'll just kind of stop here. I was hoping to get... Spirit, I was hoping to get some insights on where is she? What is the state of Cassie? Like, what if she's harmed at the hands of another, at the hands of her, presumably her ex, of course, it's alleged, fire. What happened? If you would be so kind to share. Information came up again. So what's upsetting about this is I sense that her daughter may have been around. Okay. All right. We're going to stop here for now. We got buried. Dark hair color. Part 2, this card came up to when I asked who may have been responsible or had a hand in her disappearance. This card came up. We've got con man. We got fire, information, and out of town. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about out of town, okay? So when I did part 2 of her reading, of Cassie's reading, And to the question of, you know, where may she be at? It was like the last question in part 2. And the elevator card came up, like somebody pressing the elevator button. And I remember saying to you all that this is not like an actual elevator. This is, when I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at a map and it's going up due north, okay? That's what I was sensing and feeling and picturing in my mind. And it was like I got a strong sense when Cassie was talking to me, or I felt like I was tapping into her energies, and she was communicating that I was getting a sense that it was out of town. The argument, the major fight, the blow up ensued there at the parking lot. But somehow they were able to, you know, cajole one another to the point of saying, okay, let's just go, let's go and take a ride and talk things out and see if we can get on the same accord. That's what I'm picking up on here. And the reason I'm saying this is the con man card. Okay? Like, it wasn't Cassie saying this to her ex. This was her ex having a hand in how things transpired. You know, like he cajoled her enough for them to get in the car together, her daughter, him, and to drive off. So it wasn't, and he had some motives. He was still angry, still having this sense of a Saturn moment of wanting to control, dominate. Part 1 of with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle talks about that influence, that Saturn influence. We've got evidence in fire. So I keep asking Spirit, what happened? I know of the fight, but what happened? And I kept getting this sense of suffocation. So when I think of a fire, I think of suffocating smoke. I also think of the literal idea of burning something, burying someone or something. Buried is here. And I would zoom in, but I know the spread is going to get bigger, but let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Let's see. So you can kind of see. So anyways, information came up in part 2. Information sitting next to fire, information being burnt up. But remember how I said in part 2 that law enforcement, or, you know, the police are very much involved and very much knowing what may have transpired, but they don't have all the information yet. And remember, and also one of the charges that he was arrested for was destruction of evidence. So there's something that they know of that really places him and possibly Cassie in a particular area on his way up north. Information, out of town. They're out of town, and this is Spirit's confirmation that she's not, even though I love how the local card came up in part 2, where it almost indicates, okay, she might be local. But what I'm sensing is that she's out of town, that the big blow up fight occurred in town, and that Spirit was saying she wouldn't just leave just to leave. Like someone is going to make it sound like she just left, like she just wasn't feeling well, she was over it and she left town. So be careful about believing such things. She's local, she wanted to stay local, that was her desire. I'm hearing her like, don't drive too far, you know, I gotta get back home. And he keeps driving out of town. Like the spot would be too hot if he decided to harm her in town. Like, I feel like he felt a need, he being potentially her ex, or who is responsible, who had a hand in her disappearance. I feel like he felt like he had to not be in her hometown, not be in his hometown, you know, because he knows that if she's missing, those are going to be the hot spots. So out of town. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. I'm starting to understand a bit further what may have happened. I'm going to now delve into any further clues on where she might be at, or just any additional insights that Spirit wants to share. Okay. We'll see what produces here, if anything, with this deck. I don't know. Okay. I was hoping for like a landmark, but I think the road, park, oh God. Okay, so I keep referring to the other reading. So it is, if you're following this particular reading, it is important to check out part 1 and 2 because I refer back to it. I should have mentioned that before, but I think you guys catch the drift. So in the readings before, I mentioned that when I was doing my anchoring into the energies surrounding this disappearance and trying to reach out to Cassie, I got this sense of park, national park, or perhaps a state park, but nevertheless a park. Remember, out of town, mansion. Is there a national park or state park, particularly between there and due north, going maybe between the Navarre beach and Tennessee, near Lebanon, Tennessee, for example? Is there a state park or a national park that has, a beautiful stately home on it? I know where I come from in California, we do have state parks that had stately homes and mansions on there as a part of the tour. Could it be something like that? Could this also just simply be speaking to this mansion card about evidence being found at his home, at the person responsible's home? Okay, could that be also what since out of town is there? So we got that. Park, out of town, mansion. So they probably may even be doing a search or get a search warrant for his home. But it's also important to understand that something about that open road and a park, the beaten path is what this card says. So when I think of the beaten path, I think of a major highway or a highway that links the states together. What highway is that? Okay, the beaten path. When I get this dry spell card, oftentimes it's kind of demonstrating what a particular area might look like within 3 miles of where the disappearance either took place or where the person is currently located. And so this is one of those cards to me that speaks to what it may physically look like if we were sitting there in the center of it all from the vantage point of the missing person. Or is this what it looked like where she was, what she could last remember? This is what that's speaking to. Open area, because it's sitting next to the beaten path. Ascension. I honestly think that this is speaking to the upward movement on the map, looking due north. A new perspective. This sitting next to the ascension, could she be on some sort of hill, part of an incline of a steeper hill or a raised area? somewhere where it's easy for the person who's responsible to be able to spot it out and go look at it, go be able to put more evidence there or check to see if anybody, went to that spot for the new perspective. So it's easy for this person who's responsible for her disappearance to find it, since it's like in a kind of semi-remote area, not too far off the main highway, a main highway that connects the states, the involved states. We've got Florida, Alabama, and now Tennessee. Okay, that's what I'm picking up on here. Wow. Okay. So I'm not going to pull too much more because honestly, I think we're going to have this be the end of the road here. Look, vehicle. Because essentially, I'm not even going to pull out the tarot. We're getting a general understanding as things unfold of what's coming up, and the news is coming up fast. There's also wonderful readers and psychics who have been starting, doing readings on Cassie Carli's disappearance. I didn't watch any of them. I just kind of saved to watch later those videos, because for me as a reader, I like to not watch their readings until after I've done mine. Now, if like I mentioned in past videos, if I'm not going to do a particular disappearance case, I'll watch their videos immediately, because I obviously enjoy watching the videos as well as creating these types of videos and doing these types of readings. But I will now, after I do part 3, I will check out what other psychics and readers are saying to see if we have any similarities, also to see what may come up, because I think after part 3 I'll take a break from her case and see what develops. Okay, so we've got vehicle, can't escape. That's what, remember I was talking about this earlier, where somehow he cajoled her into, let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride. Let's talk things out. Let's get back on the same page. We're really upset. And then another big blow up and fight happened again. And she could not escape. He's now on the open highway. She can't just jump out of the car. Her daughter is in the car. She's in the car. She's in this vehicle. She can't do that. So, it became a situation where it was not safe for her. And that's after he conned her. And I'm wondering now if the slap that I saw in my mind's eye, and remember that's in parts 1 and 2, Forrest. I really honestly wonder if it happened after he conned her into going for a ride. Photos again. Okay. I was hoping Spirit would give more information, but honestly, I think Spirit is only going to reveal so much, to me at least, to us who's watching this video. I sense that she's buried, and vital evidence was also buried too. Someone who has dark hair is responsible. Someone who conned her into thinking it was safe to go on a ride. Wasn't safe to go on a ride. Ultimately, she felt like she could not escape. It's like a forest, remote type area. Photos. There's photos that maybe perhaps the authorities are going through. Photos that perhaps the person responsible for her disappearance saw in her phone. The phone is integral to this case, okay? So I talked about that in part 2 a lot. The cell phone is like critical. It also offers key information on where, like the footprints. Remember the footprints card from part 2 of where they ended up. So the police they do have an idea of where she's at, but they had to go ahead and stop him, because it is curious that he was in Tennessee. Like, maybe he has family and friends there, but all this going on with your ex and the mother of your child and you traveling up to Tennessee, why? Why were you going to Tennessee? Were you trying to leave or go somewhere? I don't know. What was going on there? Don't understand. So you would think that someone who is that close to the situation would be staying close by. If you have nothing to hide, where are you going? All right, that's it, you all, for now. I didn't want this video to be too long. And look, we already too long. But I wanted to do this here reading to just kind of get further information about what may have happened, what transpired after they met up at the parking lot, and see what's coming up next. I sense that a lot of information is going to be rapidly coming out very soon, like it has been. All right, guys, take very, very good care of yourselves. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching my videos, subscribing, supporting, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Take very good care. Share in the comments below your thoughts, your impressions, your feelings, your intuitive insights. Perhaps maybe you've done a reading on it and you want to share with me. I'll happily watch it. All right. Bye, guys. Love y'all.